next person who has the sheer nerve, the sheer entitled caucasity to say all lives matter, I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna stab you. And while you're struggling and bleeding out, I'm gonna show you my paper cut and say, my cut matters too. Genuinely did not know this, but cracker apparently is a slur used to oppress white people and silence them. Like, I had no idea that you guys were being called cracker, taffy, 8 Mile, albino Betty, crocker, cracker jack, dog, egg, pasty, ghost, hick, hillbilly, Keebler, Mayflower, mayonnaise. Like shit! Like, it's been used to oppress and silence you. Like, damn, I wish it worked. Shut the fuck up. The job that I had worked really hard to get and meant a lot to me just called me and fired me because of everything. I don't know if everyone's seen, but it's been circulating a lot. My Black Lives Matter TikToks were picked up by conservatives and spread and shared, and people were demanding that I be fired, which I just got. My job that I worked really hard for.
This is a classic case of fuck around and find out.
Trump supporters just took my job away from me. But now it's just like my future is entirely compromised because Trump supporters have decided to come for my life.
So not the fact that you were saying all those things you were at the start, none of those contributed to that? It's Trump supporters' fault?
God, this sucks. You guys suck.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Oh, the classic case of, oh, there's consequences for my actions. I can't believe it. And she thought it was perfectly fine to say all this. And we live in this time where, you know, a lot of people can be racist towards white people and there's no consequences. They don't even label it as being racist towards white people. There's a large amount of people who will say you can't be racist to a white person. However they've come up with that, I don't know. Well, classic donut behavior. Saying all that bean online, and then she gets fired. It's a W for us.
That's a W.
Because they're actual Africans. They're like actual animal chimps. And they don't care.
That's gotta be racist.
30 St. Petersburg, Florida? Does that ring a bell? Oh, checkmate. Damn, it sounds like a library in this bitch. What's going on? You sitting there all quiet like a church mouse, dog. God damn. What was that you were saying? See, I bet you didn't wake up this morning thinking the Chip was gonna do that to your ass now, did you?
Now let me ask you another question. Who is Is that you?
Damn.
Don't tell me that's you, big dog.
He got cooked. Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh? He got cooked.
Not like this. You don't look like a to me. Usually are nice people. You look more like a Ryan. You know, Ryans are hateful people. Oh, sorry. My bad. You want a piece?
You're really gonna ruin a 14-year-old's life over on.tv?
No, don't play the victim. Listen to me carefully, you fucking recessive chromosome. Okay, don't play the victim now. You knew exactly.
Got him.
Yeah, a lot of people get way too confident talking shit on the internet. This guy dropped his address and his name, had this guy in complete shambles.
Respect me, but you want me to respect you. You don't accept me. Oh, you've lost my respect long ago. You're a man.
No, I'm not.
Then what are you?
I'm a woman.
Are you?
Yes.
Were you born that way?
Yes.
You were born with female vagina.
That doesn't make me a woman.
On the doctor's certificate.
I don't give a the doctor's certificate.
I thought so.
This guy's fighting the testosterone what's left in his body, man. Can't fight it, mate. Just give in. Give in to who you are.
On the doctor's certificate, it says that you are what?
I don't care.
What does it say?
I don't care.
What does it say?
You have no right to ask.
No, I'm asking because you said you're a woman. What does it say?
I said I'm a woman. That's all.
What were you born as?
A woman.
Okay. So that's the point.
If genitalia doesn't assign gender, then why do they have them surgically removed and altered to affirm it? Doesn't make sense.
Cracker, why don't you feed your kids?
What are you talking about?
Skinny.
Get a real damn job.
So you can feed them.
We're helping the elderly.
No, just a Trump supporting. Go feed your kids.
Hacked into it.
Oh, really?
Ping me out.
I can't believe we were approached by this couple while we were helping this elderly man. He recently had his bank account hacked and they stole a bunch of his money. He had no way to pay for lawn care. We stopped over and helped him for free, but we were concerned that these folks would come back again. This was so far out in the country, it's unlikely that the cops would have got there in time. But my question to you is, why are so many people evil in today's society?
Yeah.
All we're trying to do is help people, and if, after all, we should all try to help our neighbors and the elderly.
Yep, unfortunately, no matter what you do, you could be doing the greatest things for people, and there's always scumbags like that. And she was saying that in front of the kid who was with him, helping that old man. This is why you just have to focus on the things you want to achieve and do for people, because the thing you do outweighs the scumbags that are out there who are going to talk shit.
Destiny, I gotta say though, like, you care about facts. Like, I can see that. Don't you feel like sometimes your bias is overcrowding that?
The true enemies are people like you, okay? Unironically though, like you're
What?
No, but because you're so obsessed with trying to both sides everything, and it's like it's an impossible world to live in, because then people like you look at me like, aren't you kind of biased, Destiny? No, I don't think I am biased compared to the party that doesn't even acknowledge the results of the 2020, 2024, or 2016 election. Donald Trump still thinks all three elections were rigged. And you're asking me if I'm the biased one, right? Like, in 2016, he said that 3 million illegal immigrants voted with no evidence. Put together a commission to find it, couldn't find it, disbanded the commission. In 2020, he says that the election was rigged. They launched 60 plus court cases to try to prove that, lost basically every single one. In 2024, Donald Trump was still saying that there was like evidence of rigging at the Philadelphia place in Detroit. They were bringing no evidence was ever good presented for any of this. None of it was proven, right? And then he was like, well, don't you think you're being a little bit biased? And said, no, the right is full of f***ing liars right now and crazy people. So I don't think that I'm biased by calling that out. When the right does something good, then I say, okay, yeah, this is good. I give him credit for this. When the left does something bad, I would criticize him for that. Nobody on the right will criticize Donald Trump substantively for anything. That's why you can't even give me a single example. I can rattle off 5 or 10 criticisms of Kamala Harris off the top of my head for things that I don't like. You will never find the same criticisms for people on the right. Like, it just doesn't happen. I challenge you to do any of it. Other than, like, they'll give these, like, very, like, well, I don't like that Donald Trump is, kind of mean sometimes. Like, they'll give some shit like that, but they won't disagree with them anyway.
Regardless of what this guy says, guys, I know there's some of you who watch me, right? You already know what I'm going to say. This is the same guy that dyed his hair blue, and he may have normal hair color now, but mate, you can't undo what you did. You had blue hair, and you were on a podcast with your missus, who's getting batteried by other dudes and girls, and this guy is sleeping with guys and girls in an open relationship, saying, yeah, we all need to do this, yeah. Mate, someone like that, I don't care if you come up with the flipping winning lottery numbers, I ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna listen to someone like that. And on top of that, to say that everyone who supports Trump, like, never criticizes what he does, and that's bullshit.
You know we're gonna make America great again, right?
We're being harassed over here, sir.
That's the third time I've heard the buzzword today.
Okay, ma'am, can you tell me what's happening? They're in my space.
We're on the curb.
And shouting.
What? They weren't shouting. We've been
Yeah.
monitoring them, so they're not shouting. There's nothing wrong with their presence alone. As long as you guys aren't doing anything to intimidate and invoke fear into people or provoking argumentative comments.
Does Tampon Tim count as like an inflammatory comment?
The funniest part about this clip is the end. Even the coppers try not to laugh. She's saying she's being harassed, but she stood there. They're in an open parking lot. She could just walk away if that's the case. She stood there, free to leave. She's saying she's being harassed. No sense. These are the same people calling the police over a Facebook post. This is actually happening in the UK. There is police turning up to people's houses and arresting them over a Facebook post because it caused someone 1,000 miles away distress and anxiety. Yeah, we're at that point now.
Let me see what you have.
I'm just looking at my partner the whole time, just going, they're so beautiful. They're just so, they're my funky little dude. And just, I am being very lesbian right now.
What?
Honestly, same. I'm so gay for girls. It's insane. I'll see a girl just absolute bazookas and be like, hey, why don't you come over Netflix and scissor, you know? Even though there are bigots out there who would say that what I do is unnatural, and to those people, I would say, from the day I was born, I was into chicks, okay? What do you want me to be? Into dudes? Get that straight shit out of me.
Sensational.
The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination when consumers are under pressure. So some of the things that we're doing is first messaging. We got to reach the consumer where they are. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable. The other places that we like to go is we talk about making sure we have the right pack at the right price in the right place. So having a different size pack that'll have a different price point, that'll take some pressure off the consumer while they're shopping. So those are some of the things that we're doing. But in general, the cereal category is a place that a lot of folks might come to because the price of a bowl of cereal with milk and with fruit is less than $1. So you can imagine why a consumer under pressure might find that to be a good place to go.
Right. I'm all for innovation and marketing, but the idea of having cereal for dinner, is there the potential for that to land the wrong way?
We don't think so. In fact, it's landing really well right now, Carl. When we look at all of our data, of course, we would know that breakfast cereal is the #1 choice for in-home consumption. We understand that for breakfast. It turns out that over 25% of our consumption is outside the breakfast occasion. A lot of it's at dinner, and that occasion continues to grow, as well as the snacking occasion. But cereal for dinner is something that is probably more on trend now.
Is it? I don't know a single person that has cereal for dinner. Me and my brother, when, you know, we were going through hard times and, you know, we had no money or anything like that, we were eating cereal for dinner, but that was because we were in the trenches. But trying to make it a trend and a thing, like, nah, I don't think it's going to happen. So now we've got to the point where they've said about if you can't afford to put fuel in your car, buy an electric car. If you can't afford to put food on the table, buy cereal. Is that the only solution these government officials have to help you out?
I don't even know why I panicked so hard.
It's okay.
It's just hair.
I mean, no, it's not. Are you ready?
Can I cry about it first?
Stop being a bitch and come on.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you feeling good about it?
What's going on?
I'm trusting the process.
Okay. You ready?
I know if I leave with the same haircut I've had, I'm going to be disappointed in myself. And it's like time to do something new.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything's fine and we're all fine.
We're all doing great.
We're all doing great and everything's fine. But
You can
Kleenex,
cry the whole
please.
time. It's okay.
Thank you.
I won't take offense.
Grow up.
Man, we really are in a pandemic of wet wipery. When I go and get my haircut, I've seen kids deal with the trim better than this. This is embarrassing, man.
Johnson & Johnson is adding cancer-causing carcinogens to their sunscreens? That doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Let's take a look. Directly from the J&J website, they are doing a voluntary recall of Neutrogena and Aveeno sunscreen products due to the presence of benzene. According to the CDC, it is a chemical that is colorless, odorless, and highly flammable. What is it used to make? Lubricants, rubbers, dyes, detergents, drugs, and pesticides. And according to the American Cancer Society, benzene is known to cause cancer, specifically leukemia and other cancers of blood. So Johnny boy, why are you adding it to our sunscreens? Well, if you look at their revenues, they have $81.6 billion in revenue, and only $14 billion of that is from consumer-facing products like Neutrogena and Aveeno. But the rest of all of this is from their pharmaceuticals and medical devices. And apparently, their growth is primarily led by its pharmaceutical business, specifically their sales of Imbruvica and Darzalex. But what does Imbruvica do? You guessed it. Treats leukemia. That's weird. That's suspicious.
It's an evil world we live in.
What motivated you to come out here today?
We're supporting our child, Violet, and her access to the medical care that she needs.
Right.
Yeah, we're here for her rights and her ability to be who she is. And she's not going to let anybody silence her, and we're not going to stand in her way.
Who's the parents, mate? Your kid or you?
What state are you from?
Arizona.
Okay. Are you concerned about how this case would affect Arizona, or do you think that would have an impact there?
Yes, 100% we're concerned, and we've discussed having to move, which we don't want to do, but Violet comes first, and her medical care and her medical needs come first, so we'll see what happens.
And what age do you think most trans kids determine that they're trans?
Violet told us when she was 1.5. She's been telling us since she could speak. So she knew since birth.
Guys, what I want to say, can't say it on YouTube. Can't say it. Oh man, this stuff pisses me off on a whole different level.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
If we go on a date, who pays first? Think about this before you answer.
Here we go.
I already know my answer. I don't need to think about it.
first. Okay, what's your answer?
I'm the type of person that doesn't mind splitting the bill on the first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good answer.
I know that it's kind of like the traditional thing for the guy to pay, but I really don't mind paying. That's just something I don't mind. But I wouldn't like it if the guy was like, oh, you should pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Like-
I would have said the same. Because you're from the States, this one's quite relevant, to be fair, because it's quite big. Are you a DC or Marvels?
Marvel, for sure. No. I mean, DC's all right.
That new Marvel Rivals game, maybe some of you care, some of you don't. I've been playing that a ton recently. Seems to be popping off. But yeah, that's just my brain going off when I heard Marvel. But anyway.
I like the Batman movies.
Oh, Batman sucks.
What?
Nah, yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't like the
I'm
Dark
Superman.
Knight?
No, I'm Team Superman.
Same.
Those movies are awful.
Wait.
Marvel's great, though.
To be fair, it wasn't going too bad. And she could be saying what she's saying just for the cameras. But just got to take her word for it, I guess. And I do agree with her point as well. If a guy turns up to a date and just says, look, you're paying for it, that's equally as a red flag as a girl not willing to go 50-50. Just thought I'd mention it because she brought up Marvels. If any of you guys are playing Marvel Rivals, drop a comment down below, hit me up, let's play some games. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.